Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on Lockdown Tuesday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go across to the other side of the country and go to WA in particular and, of course, speak to one of our favourite clubs over there, and that is the Peel Thunder. And, well, this year they've just done one of the most fairy tale stories of the year in women's football. Of course, they went from bottom last year to top this year, of course, winning the Premiership a couple of weeks ago against Subiaco. And, of course, we got a very special guest joining us, of course. She's the co-captain of the Peel Thunder WAFLW Premiership team. Of course, her name's Abby Barden. She joins us right now. Thanks, Abby, for joining us.
No, thanks for having me.
Where do I start? I guess let's start off with the start of the year. Obviously, you had your lockdown right at the start of the year before the season was supposedly meant to start. Were you optimistic back in March that we're going to get a season this year?
I mean, it was exciting. It was an exciting start to see the players that we had and the coaching staff that we had for the new year. And then, it was very much of a quick shutdown. It was, okay, we can train in pods. And then it was, no, okay, you need to go home now. You need to do your own training. And then when we eventually came back, it was still all up in the air. We were training and hoping for the best. And I still remember the specific moment when our CEO, John, walked into the change rooms afterwards and sat us all down, and he stood up the front, and I'm thinking, oh, he's going to tell us we don't have a season. And that's it. We're training's done. We'll see you next year, girls. And he came in and gave us the devastating news that we weren't having a reserve side this year, but he came in and did give us the exciting news that, we were having a Colts and a league side and a season. They still didn't know what the season looked like, but he could confirm that we're definitely having a season that year. And from then on, it was all guns blazing, focus in, ready.
Now, I mentioned before about there was no reserves team for the girls. I guess how devastating was that? Firstly,
that was quite devastating because it was hard. I suppose that's where the filter kind of comes from. We do filter our players through our Colts and our reserves and our league side, so it was hard to not have that, I suppose, gap in the middle. But it also gave us a great opportunity to make better relationships and form more relationships with the local clubs. I know a lot of the girls went and played for South Mandurah, or they went and played for Pinjarra or the Warnbro Swans. So it was nice to see that we could filter down and help out those community clubs as well.
When the season got underway, I guess how was training like in regards to with COVID, like restrictions and protocols? How was that originally at the start, and how difficult was it? Was it, in regards to going from, I'm assuming that you went from groups to obviously getting to an actual normal team training. How difficult was that at the start?
It was kind of... it was very different, I suppose, in a sports like football that is very much game strategy orientated. A lot of it was skill based. Unfortunately, you couldn't have contact, you couldn't share the same football, you couldn't share water bottles, all the rest of it. So it was a lot of personal hygiene, which is great, but it was very, I suppose, I don't know, for myself, frustrating that you couldn't practice your defense or practice your ruck tapping or your centre stoppages, which is what football is based off. So it was quite different, I suppose, from the start of it. But as towards the end and the middle of the season, it was all back to normal, and it was great. You could actually practice once the skill had been almost perfected. It was nice that we could put that then into practice.
The season itself, what a rocky ride it was to get to the Premiership, getting to the finals. I think it came to the last round. I think you were sitting in 5th position, well outside the top 4 going into it, and you had to beat Claremont to get in. Which obviously you did on the last quarter, I believe, when I watched the live stream.
Yep.
Tell us a bit about the match itself between yourselves and Claremont, and did you realise that when you won the game that you had a chance to finish from 5th to 2nd on percentage, and you actually knocked out your opponents out of the finals?
It was a bit of a difficult weekend because we knew we played the Saturday and the other girls played, I think it was East Freo and Swans, they played the Sunday. So we couldn't find out on the actual day of the result. So I remember a few of the coaches coming in and they'd sat down and tried to work out the percentage, and they were like, it's going to be between like literally 2% or 1%. So we have to win today, like kind of thing, which was amazing because it just shows the growth of the entire competition, not just us. It shows the growth of all the teams that were in the competition this year. The day of Claremont was I think, a pushing point for us. We knew that we were here to play and we knew that we could take this further from there. Like you said, it took us to the second half to realise that. It was definitely a tough game. Claremont are very physical. They're very skillful as well. But that third quarter, we came out guns blazing and we knew, we want this and we are going to beat you today. And we were lucky to pull it off. It was a fantastic win. And like I said, I think that was the real pushing point to know that we could take this further.
Now, to obviously won that game, that was the Saturday. I guess how much attention was it to turn onto Sunday's game all of a sudden to watch East Freo and Swan Districts? And how much were you rooting hard for East Freo to win so you can get second?
I mean, it was stressful, I can tell you that. I know a few of the girls even went down and watched the game so they could actually know there and then, and a few of us watched it on the live stream. I suppose we wanted that second spot, but we were happy either result. We knew that we had won and we knew that we could keep going. But yes, it was definitely beneficial to know that East Freo had won and we'd kept ourselves up in that position. It was nice to see us going into finals. It's definitely something that's been a bit unfamiliar to our club, something that's always been wanted, but we've never been able to pull it off. So it was nice to see that, yes, they crossed the line and we're up there to match them.
Now, when I spoke to Ebony last week, and I mentioned this to her, and especially in regards to the final series, that obviously you lost the second semi to Subiaco by a kick. Of course, it came down to the last quarter again against East Freo at home. We'll talk about one of the players that turned it all around for the team in that game. And obviously she duplicated that in the grand final against Subiaco a week later in the grand final. But I felt that the prelim final was the key game, I guess, in regards to whoever went on and won it. Was that how you felt? Was the prelim final was the real key on, I guess, whoever won that game was going to end up winning it all?
With that game, we knew, like you said, it literally came down to a goal. I'm pretty sure in the last quarter, it was in our 50 for at least 10 minutes and nothing happened with it. So it was definitely possible to beat them there and then. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But that game, I think, definitely put a fire in the belly and fueled us ready to go to take it to East Fremantle. And we were lucky we pulled that off. Like you said, took us to the last quarter again. And we pulled that off. So going into the grand final, I definitely think it's put a good mindset into our girls that this is actually possible today. We've never gotten here before and we're here now. Let's just put everything out on the field and give it a go, because it is possible to beat Subiaco, and we were very lucky that we pulled it off on the day.
Now, I also mentioned to her that was probably the best game I've seen. Other than the grand final, I thought the prelim final was the best game I've seen this year in the WAFLW. Is that how you felt?
Yes, definitely. East Freo are definitely a club that we've struggled to play against before. They are very skillful. Very, very skillful. And they always come out very physical, hard-hitting ball getters. They're definitely big ball getters. So it was amazing to see that we could match that talent. I don't think we've never been able to quite get there before, but to put all our gameplay and our skill play into a structure that paid off and put us in front was amazing. It was definitely, like you said, I think the best game that I've seen us play as well.
Now, one play that turned the difference in that last quarter of that game against East Freo, we also did the same thing the week later, of course, in the grand final, kicking 2 goals in the grand final as well. Of course, I have to talk a bit about Ella Roberts. Of course, I think she's only 15 or 16 years old.
Correct.
Tell us a bit about her game, and did the team see this at all?
It was funny. I remember Steve, our coach, coming in and saying, I think it was round 2 or round 3, oh, we've got this new girl, like she'd be great, let's bring her up to the league side and whatnot. It's like, okay, cool, what's her name, where's she from? And this is her first year at our club, so this is a girl that was unfamiliar, her talent was unfamiliar to everyone, but Steve obviously saw what was the talent that she had in her and the spirit that she had, and she came up and absolutely gave it her all. And that's all she wanted to do. Every training session, she was there, strapped, ready to go. She gave it 100%, always asking for help, always asking for feedback, always just trying to better herself and not fit in, because she already fits in, but just gel with the team really well, especially for her first year being at the club. She did absolutely amazing. And yeah, I'm so glad that we decided to bring her up.
Now, I have to ask, has she become a bit of a cult hero down in Mandurah and obviously her hometown at Margaret River?
Yes, she is definitely well known down here. I think every news article and every Facebook post and everyone that knows about the club's definitely, oh, wow, look at that Ella Roberts that you've got coming up in your side. And yeah, no, and she definitely deserves it. Her hard work that's paid off this year. It's nice that it's shone through for her.
Now, the other player that won the grand final MVP, and I think she actually won your club's best and fairest actually just recently, a couple nights ago as well. Of course, that's Chloe Wrigley. Tell us a bit about her game in the grand final and especially her year overall.
Yep. Absolute hard hitter, ball getter. Wrigley is her ability to just get down, get the ball and clear it out and shut down players when they need to is unbelievable. She's obviously one of our midfielders that I tap to, and she's just get in, get out. She gets the job done. She's very good at it. Always trying to improve too, always try and change up things and learn new ways of that we can clear it out of the midfield. She's very optimistic. Yeah, she had a phenomenal year and very consistent. Her performance was very consistent amongst the year from start to finish. And in the grand final, definitely. There we had some pretty hard opponents in the midfield there with Hayley Miller, and Ange Stannett, and she definitely played well to them.
Now, just going back to the grand final. Now, I have to ask this question. Number one, when did you feel the grand final was won? And number 2, what was it like once you had the final siren?
Funny enough, everyone was like, oh, we've got this in the last 5-10 minutes. I'm like, nope, nothing is won until that last siren sounds. I think I was in shock, to be honest. And yeah, no, I'm a true believer. I've seen football go the other way, like we even saw with West Coast and Collingwood in the last few minutes just recently, that nothing is won until that siren sounds. And I remember being on the bench and standing there on the line waiting to go on the oval, and the clock actually ticked over. So it went 20:01, 20:02, and I was like, wait, can I go on the oval yet? Yeah, as soon as that siren sound, the coaches, Steve's face, the girls, it was just, oh my gosh, we've actually just done this. We've won it. And it was amazing. We all ran straight out to each other and pretty much did where everyone jumps on top of each other and gives each other a big hug. And oh, it was, honestly, words can't describe that feeling. It was amazing.
Now, let's turn our attention to the coach, Stephen. Obviously, he fully deservedly got the WAFLW Coach of the Year, and especially to bring up a team that finished from the bottom all the way to the top this year in 1 year. Tell us a bit about him, and I guess especially, he's won quite a few Rogers Cup premierships as well, and of Because I know your team in particular had quite a few Rogers Cup girls that's won those premierships. I guess tell us a bit about his coaching, especially a couple of the Rogers Cups girls that has won premierships.
Oh, Steve is words can't even just describe Steve. He's amazing. He knows exactly what he wants and he knows exactly how to plan, how to get there. I remember at the start of the year, he's like, right, we're going for the grand final. We're going for finals. And I'm like, okay, that's a great idea, but can we win 2 games first, especially after last year? Let's win 2 games and we'll go from there. And he never changed his mind. He kept going and going and going. And it was his passion shines through in every speech, whether it be casual or whether it be at halftime. Steve's passion definitely drives his ability to coach the girls. He is very committed. He'll work silly hours. He'll be messaging the group chat at 12 o'clock at night because he's just thought of a new strategy. He definitely knows what he's doing. And like you said, he's had a lot of experience with the Rogers Cup girls, which I think was quite beneficial with them moving up into the league side. He had a good relationship with majority of the team. And obviously those new girls that played for us this year, he built a great relationship with them. And he was very much about having that relationship. With no relationship, there's no good footy, I suppose.
Now, let's talk a bit about obviously the presentations and all that on Grand Final Day. How good was it to actually, number one, who actually hold the cup first? You two, or you three, I should say, including the coach. And how good was it to hold the cup? Even though I think you actually hold the cup earlier for the promo thing that you did during the week in the lead.
Yeah. So during the little photo shoot that we had with Hayley Miller, I got to hold the real original one that's huge. I remember, I'm glad we were both holding it because it was quite heavy. But on the actual day, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure we gave it to Steve first because it was his, it was our moment, but it was his moment. It just showed, and then Crystal and I stood on either side. We had to have our photos taken, but it's very much a team effort. Crystal and I work really well together, and I think having that co-captaincy gives us time to balance and work with the team and actually play football as well. I think being a captain can actually be quite a big role and big position, so being able to have someone else to lean on worked really well. So we're all about sharing the cup, sharing the moment with the team, and it was kind of surreal. Like I said before, Steve was like, nope, we're going for finals, we're going for the premiership. And to be actually holding that was, gave you goosebumps at the time. I remember you're just in your own little zone. It's like, we've just done this, we've won. It doesn't matter who's here now, 7 News, your family and whatnot, everyone's here to celebrate, and we're all just so happy.
Now, before I talk a bit about your footy journey, I guess I have to ask in a 2-part question. Firstly, has the premiership sunk in now after 2 weeks later since then? And considering his vision of going, making the grand final, I guess, are you surprised the way you went from wooden spoon last year to being premiers this year?
So the grand final has sunk in now that we've won. I went and watched the men's WAFL grand final on the weekend, and watching the Bulldogs win was kind of like, wow, we did this too. We had people celebrating, and we went mad and held the cup and took photos and had the flag. But until that moment, no, it hadn't really sunk in. It was still, oh wow, we did it. You see photos and you see news articles, and it was, you get that feeling in your belly of excitement and feeling of being proud too, to represent our club, especially being wooden spooners and going to the top to knock out East Fremantle, the last 2 years premiers, and then to beat a well-known good football club of Subiaco was fantastic. So that it's definitely sunk in now, and it's definitely something to cherish. But with regards to the whole idea and the vision of being in the grand final, I think it progressed as we went on. It went from, okay, let's make the grand final to, okay, we've won 3 games of footy now. Finals is ours. Let's do it. Got to finals, lost to Subiaco, and then it was like, nah, we can do this. Okay, let's get to the grand final. I think it was definitely a progressive thing. And yeah, for next year, it'll be on again.
Yeah, you mentioned that you actually attended the weekend just gone's grand final in the men's in the WAFL competition, which that came right down to the wire. Obviously, South won by 3 points over Claremont in a pretty damn good low scoring game.
Yeah.
When you watched it, did you see the similarities in regards to how the game panned out, how close it got, and did you sort of feel the way that the players were feeling on the day as the game went on?
Yeah, I suppose you can relate to the players definitely, especially when a mistake happens or the ball gets smothered and you think you could be on the other end of the field and you think, all right, the ball's going down to our 50, brilliant. Okay, this is an opportunity, and someone smothers it at the 50 mark and it comes all the way back your end. You definitely empathise with players when stuff like that happens. It was a good game of football. I think there was a few mistakes made here and there, which they'll go back and look on. No game of football is ever perfect. But yeah, there are some similarities between obviously our game and differences at the same time. That a lot of them can kick 60, 70 metres. I think it takes us a few more kicks to get it down the field. But I think the way that both that game and the men's and women's world is coming together is a lot better though. I know even we're obviously into the second year of being affiliated with our men's club. And yeah, the growth between the two, it's definitely becoming very beneficial.
Now, let's talk a bit about your footy journey. Where did it all start and why did you choose it?
So I started playing schoolgirls footy actually in high school. That's where footy started for me. I played rugby because footy wasn't an opportunity to start off with. So I played rugby sevens, and then footy came along and I thought, well, why not do this sport too? So I moved into that. And then year 12 was a big year for me. So I actually gave it up for the year. Didn't play any footy outside, didn't play any sport inside of school. And it was mentioned that Peel had a side and they had like a have a go day kind of thing. So it's like, oh, cool. I've left school now. I've got all this time. Let's go down and have a go. So I did. And yeah, I started playing since then. So I think this is my 5th season. I've just finished my 5th season now. And I've loved every minute of it. It's nice to be a part of the 5 years where the club's actually grown as a club as well. My dad played footy. He's originally from Geraldton, so he moved down to play for East Fremantle, and then from East Fremantle he played for Peel. So footy's always been around. Mum works at the footy club as well, so we're very much in footy all the time. So it's always been around. But yeah, to actually play it, I didn't start till after high school, and chose Peel as my club and don't regret it at all.
Now, you mentioned about your family and being heavily involved in football. Obviously, there's a medal that's been named under your family's, of course, at Peel. I guess for you, and obviously that was announced. Obviously, the winner was announced last week or during the week. I guess for you and your family, what did that medal mean to be recognised in that sort of at the club?
Yeah. So that medal was named after my mum, and it was actually fantastic. I remember, I think it was announced, or someone came and whispered it to me at the end of one of our games last year, and we just lost, and it was, no one feels nice after a loss, and someone had mentioned, just to let you know, like on the awards night, there's going to be an award named after your mum. It'll be called the Barnden Medal. And I thought, whoa, hang on a second, like a medal, like an actual medal that you wear and you get and you wear with pride. And I said, yeah, it'll be like the Fenton Medal for us, but the Barnum Medal will be for the Colts girls. And I It was amazing. My mum's probably the hardest working person I know, and to see the hours and their commitment and the passion that she brings through the football club, sometimes it can be a man's world in footy, and to see that her hard work and her commitment paying off and to be rewarded for that, it was fantastic. It was very exciting.
I completely agree. I know, communicating with her the last couple of years, I completely agree with that. So, and obviously she well deserved to be recognised that way. So, and I have to ask, who actually ended up winning that award at the Rogers Cup?
This year, I'm pretty sure it was Bella Mann. Again, well deserved. She played a few league games for us this year and then got dropped towards the finals. But her football has come a long way. I'm pretty sure she actually maybe even won the best and fairest for the Colts last year as well. So I think this might be her second year. But couldn't think of anyone else to really, get the award. She did well.
Now, other than winning a premiership, one of your highlights, any other highlights that stands out to you in your playing journey?
There's been a few. I think the whole journey's been fantastic, and to, like you say, to see where it leads to a grand final, unbelievable. I would probably say being named co-captain was pretty exciting. It was nice to see that the girls had a lot of faith and trust in me. Like I said before, being a captain is a big role. It's not just how you go about your footy, it's after hours, it's before games, it's after games, it's doing interviews, it's talking to other people, it's representing your club. So I think that was pretty special to be named co-captain with Crystal. And probably in 2017 when I represented WA, we went over to Queensland for the weekend. Unfortunately lost both games, but that was pretty exciting, to be named in that squad.
I guess I have to ask, following up from that question, how good is it now to be, now be recognised as the Premiership co-captains?
Amazing. I wouldn't have done it with anybody else. Crystal, she's been at the club forever, and her relationship with the girls and relationship with all the coaches, it was well deserved. Her hours and her commitment to the club, to see her talent pay off as well and be a part of that, it was amazing to celebrate it with her. To do it together, I think, was unreal.
Now, what does the sport of football mean to you now, especially playing there at Peel Thunder?
I think, like I said before, footy's always been around. Whether I'm watching it, whether I'm just at the club, or whether I'm now playing it, it's amazing. To play at Peel, particularly, we are definitely a family. We say Ohana, so we're a family. We have so many team bonding sessions. We got so many barbecues and birthdays. It's always footy girls or whatnot around, and our sponsors as well. Just even sponsors and spectators, put the whole game day aside, they are fantastic. Everyone supports everyone, especially in times of need. Everyone gets around, whether it's through money, whether it's through I know one of our major sponsors has a farm. They needed help building fences, so a lot of us picked up our caravans and went down there and helped out. Like the support at Peel is unreal. So I think being able to be in such a good environment all the time, is fantastic.
We'll get the chance to shout out your sponsors in just a moment, a little bit later on. I guess for you, any other future ambitions in the sport of football, considering what you've already achieved already?
Well, I can say another premiership, that's for sure. But I won't get into that too quickly. I suppose just playing good football. It's the consistency, well, I can't say consistency, but the talent growth that we have had as a club, and as I have personally had as well over the years, to keep that going and to keep getting better and better and better as the year goes on. I think that's just that is my personal goal, to keep playing good football. As a club, I suppose, to get into pre-season and get started, but also have a break. I think football can also take over a lot. You train a lot, you have barbecues a lot, you have leadership meetings a lot, you play on the weekend. It can also take over a lot. So it'll be nice to kind of just have a break and then reset.
And what will be your advice to our listeners and viewers down in WA that should get down to pre-season? Of course, I'm sure that's very, very soon to, of course, have a go down there at the home of the defending WAFLW champions in one of the best venues I've been to down there in Mandurah.
Yeah, a bit of advice, go for it. If you want to come and play footy at any level, just go for it. You don't know until you try. It's an amazing sport, both physically and socially. So I would just say go for it. And if you are going for it and you're struggling skill-wise or, ability-wise, ask for help. There are people around you that are more than willing to help with your skills, and all the rest of it. Most people have coaches and they have physios and all the rest of it. And if they don't, they'll know someone who they can recommend you to. So, just go for it and ask for help if need.
Now, let's quickly finish off with a couple lighthearted questions about your teammates. Firstly, any embarrassing moments by anyone this year?
It's probably just Greta. Every time, Greta McKinley, I normally manage to do it, but I haven't done it this year. But this year, she kicked the wrong way multiple times. Unintentionally, she had no idea. But yeah, Greta's a good one.
Yes, Ebony did mention that. So I was waiting for you to mention that. Who's the comedian in the team?
Definitely Whitney. She, towards the end of the season, our pre-game speech was a poem, always written by Whitney. Whether it be on the coaches or on the game day, on the team we were playing, she provides the music, she provides the atmosphere, and she provides the jokes. She's definitely the comedian of the group.
Yes, that was also mentioned.
Yeah.
Now, I know there's this thing called TikTok. So the question I'm going to ask you is, who's the best singer and dancer in the team?
Oh, singer, I'd probably go Whitney. Whitney's a good singer. She loves a little breakout. And dancer, very sneaky and discreetly, would be Kate Bartlett for us, actually. She's always in the background, like doing something. But yeah, I'd go with Kate Bartlett for that one.
Yes. Oh, we're going well here. 3 from 3 so far. Now, do you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
Oh, I'm normally a quotes person. So the only thing for me is that I need to find or just come up with, whether it be a word or whether it be a quote for my game for that particular day. So I don't like using the same one. I like changing it up, especially like for teams and moods. People wake up in different moods every kind of day. So if I'm not in the best kind of mood, I might find a bit of a longer quote. If I'm in a good mood and I know what I want to focus on, I might just use a word. So mine would definitely be self-motivation, I think. Yeah, using those quotes.
We'll finish off these last two, which is how was the celebrations back in the club rooms?
Loud. They were very loud. Super exciting. Everyone came back and everyone was just in this magical moment that had just happened. Jerseys were on, medals were on, music was cranking, everyone was just hugging and high-fiving and dancing. It was amazing.
Two-part question to finish off. Now, obviously you're wearing your medal at the moment, I can see. Now, the question I'm going to ask you is, how long did you wear your medal around your neck? And And did you get a chance to take the Premiership Cup home? And did you actually kiss the Premiership Cup?
Well, I actually was on prac for my physical education when after the last week was of week of school, and I wore my jersey and medal to school pretty much every day. It was nice. It was really nice. And then, we did the parade for the WAFL men's grand final on the weekend, and they asked us to wear it again. So I was like, sure, no worries. I can pop that one back on. I wore it for a while. And the cup, I did not kiss, no, unfortunately. And I didn't get to take it home, but that's okay. That's all right. It's probably safer at the club. But no, Kate Bartlett was attached to that one for the night. I think she even named it Bruce. But she kind of walked around with it tucked in under her arm. But no, that's okay. That was one for everyone to share.
Yep. Yes, Ebony did mention about that Premiership Cup hog that Kate was hogging that cup. So yes. Of course, we'll finish off with this last one, and I did mention we were going to do this towards the end. Mm-hmm. You might as well give your valued sponsors a shout out.
Yes, so I want to say thank you to the Fairman family. They sponsored me this year, and they also sponsored all our fruit and everything for halftime, which was absolutely beautiful, and I'm pretty sure I ate at least 90% of it. So thank you very much.
Well, Abby, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. It's been too long since we last had you on the show, this was the perfect time to do it with a win. And thank you so much for joining us. It's awesome having the show. Congratulations from all of us here at Smash FM. We were cheering for you from down here in Melbourne, and we are so happy that he's got the job done on grand final day against Subiaco.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
No worries. And that's, of course, the Pure Thunder WAFLW Premiership co-captain, Abby Barnden there, because you can get down there either later this year or next year to get involved down there at the Pure Thunder, be part of the Thunder family in the most beautiful venue down there in Mandurah at the David Gray's Arena. So make sure you get down there and support them again in their total defence in 2021. There's more on the Smash Bot Show right after this. Don't go away here on Lockdown Tuesday.